A revolutionary. Say whoa. Trap revolutionary. Got the wave it too scary. Doing this thing like Malcolm ain't by any means necessary. We ain't got it by no one seen hand. We got the master plan. Get the move. What's going on, y'all? Y'all want to make this video real quick about To'Nea Nicole Miller. Said she was found hanging in Florida.
The death of a Michigan woman in South Florida has gained a lot of attention online. Now, a family member is pleading for answers after deputies say that they found her sister dead near Gwen Cherry Park in Miami-Dade County last week. Detectives say that their investigation found no evidence of foul play and say that it appears that she died by suicide. A woman's sister, however, strongly disputes that.
If anybody knew that my sister To'Nea Nicole, that's the last thing she would do. That's the last thing she's thinking about. She loved life too much.
Deputies say To'Nea's body was found last Thursday morning. Investigators say her belongings were with her and they found no signs of violence. Over the past week, Miller's death has drawn growing attention on social media. Today, the NAACP and community leaders call for transparency in the investigation. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office attended today's news conference to say that the case is closed, though they say that they will review any credible new information brought forward.
Based on the totality of the evidence gathered, during this investigation, detectives found no evidence that Ms. Miller's death was a result of foul play. We understand that this does not lessen the grief of those that loved Ms. Miller, nor does it erase the difficult questions that often follow a tragic loss.
Experts say mental health struggles can be complex and are not always visible to others. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is available by calling or texting 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
I think Miami-Dade. I don't know, man. It's kind of ridiculous to me in a sense that they would rule that as a basically a suicide when she actually went down there for vacation. If I'm not mistaken, she actually came from Michigan and went to Miami for vacation. So this was in Gwen Cherry Park, June 18, 2026. And the reason I want to make a video about it is because it's like, okay, out of all the ways you can commit suicide, I just don't see how a person would. You're gonna climb up this tree, right? Tie yourself up or whatever you got to do, and then just jump from the tree or just hang from the tree until you die. I just don't understand. And then especially, I don't see a woman doing that to themselves. Black women don't climb, and that just look. Most black women not climbing trees. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, and even if they did take their life, hate to say it, truth is, they're not hanging themselves from trees. You know what I'm saying? Maybe overdosing on pills, some form of drug, substance or some of drugs. I don't know, maybe slitting the wrist, shooting itself, something like that. But hanging from a tree is just, that's just not some man that black women do. So that right there, that's why I said, like, man, cause I was just, kept hearing about the story, and I'm like, they're saying she hung herself, and it's confusing, like how, they're saying that it's ruled as suicide, but even, and also, her, matter of fact, because they family members end up the ACP, people that investigate, they said that her family, whatever, accepted the ruling, but her sister, talk with the media or whatever. Like, she was like, hey, if you knew my, cause I actually looked at it. What she said, she's like, if you knew my sister, man, like she was too happy, you know what I'm saying, too much of an outgoing and just, you know, happy person to commit suicide like that, So, and then like me just doing research, I'm like, man, is this likely? Do people commit suicide like this? You know what I'm saying? And doing my research, which they did say, like 70, it is a 70 to 85% chance for people that do, you know what I'm saying, commit suicide, or if they, I said commit suicide by hanging themselves. 70% to 85%, pretty much those people end up dying. You know what I'm saying? End up, what it said, if people are, basically the statistics from people hanging themselves from that particular type of suicide, which it said it results in like, most, basically results in 70 to 85% of those cases, people, it results in death, from those people trying to hang themselves or commit suicide by that particular way, that particular method, So, but like I said, just me researching and just doing my own research and just thinking about it, I'm like, why would you even, okay, you just gonna, and they say her, and you gotta think about it from an investigative purpose. They say pretty much her belongings. So she came from Michigan to Miami. The things she had were with her. So the only thing I can figure is like, you must have went, I don't know, she probably went down to see somebody, spend time with somebody, I don't know. And then if she had her things with her, that means she was going to a particular area, a particular location. I don't see you just hanging yourself and you have all your things with you. To me, it looks like she must have got kidnapped by somebody en route to where she was going, or whoever she went to go with or go see or whatever. I don't know. They possibly could have had something to do with it. May not be the case, but it's a possibility. So I just don't see anybody just going. You're just going to to Miami from Michigan on vacation, and then you go down there to hang yourself. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, just doesn't make sense to me. To other people, hey man, they probably feel like, oh, which, like I said, the detectives or whatever, investigators are in that in Miami, that Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, they concluded that it was by suicide. She basically died by suicide. Her committing suicide. So they have closed the case at this time, but they said they will review any further evidence or anything that comes up, and they'll review it, concerning her, her death. But I'm just like, man, I just don't see. I just don't see that somebody like that would commit suicide, and just, I don't know, you just hurl yourself from a tree, and to your death. I don't know anybody, as I said, I've never seen, black women, honestly, climbing trees like that, and then on top of that, hang yourself from a tree. I don't know. It doesn't seem right. And I would just, like I said, say it's got to be foul play. I'm gonna add, my own some of the which like I said, what I saw her sister say, I'm gonna add it to this video. What I'm saying, just provide context. But like I said, I don't see it. I don't see it. You just commit suicide like that, and I think that it's possibly. Well, I would say, like I said, somebody end up kidnapping her, intercepted her on the way to her vacation destination, or whoever she was going to visit had something to do with it. That's the only thing I can conclude. Um, but I would say, man, condolences to her family. Hopefully, they get the justice they deserve. Truly get to the answer, what really happened, and and rest in peace to her as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just want to make this video real quick about that because I just, I kept seeing that, and I just thought that something needed to be said about it. We have to understand that, man. Also, in this context too, man, we have to understand our lives are valuable. Sometimes we go through things, and we may just want to, hey man, we want to get up out of here. Like, man, it's over with. I'm tired. I just, I don't want. I can't go no more. I just want to, you know, I just want to leave. You know what I'm saying? Don't care about nothing else. I'm done. I'm just like done with it all. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, our lives are valuable. Our lives are, extraordinary valuable. You know what I'm saying? Not only to, us, our families. You know what I'm saying? God. We're here for overall purpose. We are here for a purpose. So I think that's important, man. I just want to say that. Just people out there, man. I know sometimes it's hard, but just try to get through it, and just know that your life has value, and in a day's time, man. Actually, sometimes things pass to where in a day's time, it's like you'll probably be going through something in one day, and in a day's time, the next day, it's just totally better for you. You'll probably be thinking like, dang, man, it's like, man, my life is, it's horrible, this and this and that, and that and the other. And then the next day, things like turn around for you. That's why I'll be, because I went through that, you know what I'm saying? But I've read something, it's crazy, by the Law of Success series, Napoleon Hill, the Law of Success series. And he said that, he was like, man, I'm not quoting what he said verbatim, but in a sense of what he said, or just what he said was, you may go through something, and you hang on just a moment, a moment more, just a little bit more. And then just by you doing that, things would completely change for you. Like 100% turnaround, so I just cling to that mindset, that philosophy, to like get me through situations. And another thing too, I go to the gym, so I ain't gonna lie, that helps me as well. I'm always trying to do something constructive, or basically replace a negative habit that I may have with a positive habit, so I just try to stay away from, any type of, drinking, drugs or whatever, man. Cause it's like, I know I have addictive personality. I really replace it with something constructive, so that's how I do mine. Like I said, when I feel like my things are not going my way, I may have a issue with some, feel like I'm just down and, in despair. That's kind of what I do. I think about that philosophy. I keep that in mind, as well as, try to do something constructive to get me through the bad days. Cause it's just what it is. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days. Things, up and down. You're gonna have that. It's just life. Life ain't gonna always be sweet, man. It's just the way it is. You have the sun, you have the moon, you have the day, you have the night, you have the cold. You know what I'm saying? You have the heat, the summer, whatever, hot and during the summer, cold during the winter, you're gonna be wet from the rain, gonna be dry from the heat or the sun, so it's always a duality in life. And I think we have to understand that, to get us through, and be better and become better, in life. You get through those seasons or those times, those different dualities, as I said, keep pushing forward. That's just what it is, so I think we understand that, I think we'll be better from it, and I also, like I said, understand our purpose. We put her for a purpose, and one of the basic ones I would always say, and I keep saying, is that to help each other, So, Don't feel like, you're not worthy. Your life doesn't have value because you may see somebody in the, I don't know, social media or whoever, friend maybe having money in this or whatever. Like in a day's time, you can have the same thing or even more. You know what I'm saying? So that's, we just have to understand that and continue on, man, with our lives, you know what I'm saying, in a positive way. Our lives, we've been blessed by the Most High Creator, God, just we have been blessed, to be here. So, I would say that. Though your life has value, has worth, and other people, your family, man, want to see you do well, want to see you here. You know what I'm saying? So think about them as well, they're, whether you probably know it or not, man, your family, most time want to see you win, you know what I'm saying? So think about them, man, and other people want to see you, do well or whatever, and want to see you here, But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here, man. Like I said, rest in peace to To'Nea Nicole Miller. And it said she was 27 years old from Flint, Michigan, and found dead on June 18, 2026, near Cherry Park in Miami, Florida. Rest in peace to her, man. And I hope they find out whatever they need to find out, man. And really, like I said, bring some actually closure to the family first and foremost about this, and bring some fine, actually there's justice, if it is found out that it was foul play. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here, man. I just want to say that, get on here and talk about that. Rest in peace to her, condolences to her family, and everybody out there, man. I appreciate y'all looking at the videos, liking, sharing, comment. Like I said, we agree to disagree. We disagree, we can hash it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be respectful towards y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be respectful, man. Come in, towards me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no use us calling each other names or tripping, because I ain't gonna do that. It's all about respect, man. I'm gonna respect y'all, man. Respect me. Y'all come here and we, got, a disagreement or whatever. You wanna, hash it out about something, or, comment about something. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all out there doing well, living life for love and happiness. Doing great, strive for greatness every day. Till next, y'all. All right, y'all. Love y'all. All right, y'all.
Fuck it, go ahead and blow out the dough. Step through the maze, man, and became amazing. About to rewrite history and change a page in a crooked book that never told us the true story. Like how we were kings and queens before the slave story, before the killing, stealing, and drug dealing on some real shit. We ran the world.